They say your childhood is behind you. Actually, no. It's still riding shotgun in every relationship you get into. Sure, we all have the choice to grow and change, but there's no denying that the blueprint gets drawn early. The way we react in conflict, the way we show love, even the way we secretly hope someone will rescue us, all of it traces back to the environment we grew up in. Marriage and family counselors Dr. Milan and Kay Yurkovich call these blueprints love styles. And while love styles aren't a life sentence, they're patterns, and patterns repeat until you notice them. So let's walk through their 5 love styles, one by one, and see which one feels uncomfortably familiar. Number 1. The pleaser. Pleasers often grow up with parents who are either overly protective or overly critical. In other words, they grow up trying to avoid setting off a landmine, so they learn early on, if I'm good, if I'm quiet, if I put your feelings first, maybe you won't explode. Instead of receiving comfort, pleaser children become the ones giving comfort. They learn to read moods like it's a survival skill, and as adults, that carries over. They're the friend who apologizes for taking too long to text back, even though it's been 3 minutes.
I'm kinda tired, I think I just want a night in.
Oh yeah, totally, same. I wasn't even excited about dinner anyway.
B, you literally booked the reservation, picked the restaurant, and sent me the menu circled with emojis.
Right, but if you're happy, I'm happy. My stomach can just vibe.
You can just say you're disappointed, you don't need to gaslight your own appetite.
I'm not even hungry. Pleasers hate conflict. They'll lie just to avoid confrontation. They'll say it's fine when it's really not, because rocking the boat feels scarier than drowning quietly. But here's the catch. When pleasers spend all of their energy keeping everyone else happy, they forget themselves. And when the stress builds up, it can all snap. They don't just burn out, they bolt, fleeing the relationship altogether. To build healthier love, pleasers need to do the scariest thing imaginable. Actually admit how they feel, not what's expected, not what keeps the peace, the truth. Because at the end of the day, people-pleasing isn't the same as loving, it's just another way of hiding. Number 2. The victim. Victims usually grow up in chaotic, unpredictable homes. Survival meant staying small, quiet, invisible. If you didn't draw attention, maybe you wouldn't get hurt. So victim children learn to disappear. Not physically, but emotionally. They hide inside themselves, sometimes even building whole fantasy worlds in their heads. Because being present in a home filled with yelling, violence, or volatility, too painful. As adults, that pattern lingers. Victims often have low self-esteem, struggle with anxiety or depression, and end up in relationships with controlling partners. Not because they want to, but because chaos feels familiar. Here's the twist. Calmness doesn't always feel safe to the victim. Sometimes peace feels like the calm before the storm, so they're bracing for the blow-up that never comes.
You've been really quiet tonight, what's going on?
Nothing. Just waiting for you to yell at me.
I'm literally eating soup.
Yeah, but the spoon could slam down any second. Victims cope by adapting, by going with the flow, sometimes too much. But a healthy relationship requires more than disappearing into someone else's current. To grow, victims have to practice something that feels terrifying at first, self-love, and speaking up when it matters, not letting a partner walk all over them, not shrinking to survive. Because disappearing might have protected you as a kid, but as an adult, it just guarantees you'll never fully show up for love. Number 3. The controller. Controllers usually grow up in homes where there wasn't enough protection. No one was looking out for them, so they learned to toughen up, take care of themselves, and never let anyone see their weak spots. For a controller, being vulnerable feels dangerous, so instead they cling to control. If they're in charge, they don't have to feel fear, helplessness, or humiliation. And here's the irony. While they avoid feeling powerless, they don't see their anger as vulnerability. Instead, they use it like a weapon, a way to stay in charge. Controllers can be rigid, unpredictable, even explosive when things don't go their way. They hate stepping outside their comfort zone because it means giving up control, and that feels unsafe. Hey, I think the GPS said to turn left here.
No, I've got it, my way's faster.
We're literally driving into a dead end.
Yeah, well, at least I chose a dead end.
See, controllers would rather crash the car on their own terms than risk someone else steering. That my way or nothing mentality feels safer than admitting they don't have it all together. But in relationships, control isn't connection. Controllers have to practice letting go, trusting others, and finding safety in partnership, not just in power. Because trying to control love only guarantees you'll eventually strangle it. Number 4. The vacillator. Vacillators grow up with inconsistent, unpredictable parents. One day mom or dad is warm and affectionate. The next day they're distant, distracted, or gone. So the child learns, love is inconsistent. and inconsistency breeds fear. They develop a deep fear of abandonment, and yet, by the time the parent finally gives them attention, they're often too angry or exhausted to receive it. As adults, this plays out in their relationships. Vacillators idealize new partners. They fall fast, they fall hard, they picture the rom-com montage. But the second reality shows up, they feel let down. They're constantly scanning for signs of rejection, detecting even the smallest shift in someone's tone or energy. What looks like intuition is really hypervigilance.
Hey, I'll call you back in 5 minutes.
Cool, so is that 5 real minutes or 5 minutes until you ghost me forever?
I just went to microwave pasta.
Right, that's exactly what someone who's leaving me forever would say. Vacillators often feel misunderstood, constantly caught between hope and disappointment, closeness and withdrawal. The roller coaster isn't fun, but it feels familiar. To build healthier love, vacillators have to slow down, pace themselves, get to know someone before building the fantasy of who they could be. Because sometimes the heartbreak isn't caused by another person's actions, it's caused by our own expectations running ahead of reality. Number 5, the avoider. Avoiders usually grow up in homes where emotions weren't exactly welcome. Affection was rare. Independence, self-reliance, and keeping it together, praised. So at a young age, avoiders learn to shut down their own needs and take care of themselves. Feelings get filed away into the do not open drawer. They rely on logic, detachment, and space. And when they become adults, that's still their safety net. Avoiders keep people at arm's length, not because they don't care, but because closeness feels overwhelming. They'll happily dive into work, hobbies, or Netflix, but when a partner starts crying or showing intense emotion, avoiders freeze. It's like someone just started speaking another language. I don't know, I just feel really sad right now.
You want some crackers?
I'm literally crying.
Yeah, and carbs comfort everyone.
Avoiders aren't cold. They're just trained not to need, not to feel, not to depend. But healthy love requires vulnerability, and for avoiders, that means practicing the very thing they were taught to bury: honest emotional expression. Because staying detached might have kept you safe as a kid, but as an adult, it only guarantees you'll end up alone in a fortress built out of walls instead of connection. So which love styles sounded a little too familiar? The pleaser, the victim, the controller, the vacillator, or the avoider? Here's the thing. These styles might explain us, but they don't have to define us. Childhood wrote the first draft, but adulthood is where you pick up the pen. Because love isn't about recreating old patterns. It's about breaking them. It's about saying, actually no. You don't have to lie to keep the peace. You don't have to disappear to stay safe. You don't have to control every detail, brace for abandonment, or bury your feelings under logic. You get to choose differently now. And if that feels impossible, that's where support comes in. Therapy, journaling, even slowing down long enough to notice when you're slipping into old blueprints. Honestly, online therapy is one of the best tools for that, because sometimes you need someone outside of the cycle to help you see it clearly. It's affordable, private, and it's about you. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check it out. Healing doesn't erase the past, but it does keep it from being the author of your future. So yeah, your childhood shapes you, but it doesn't get the last word. That's yours. And if you want more of these gentle slaps of truth, subscriptions are my love language. I'll see you in the next one.